Hi, my name is Eric Johnson. I'm the co-senior pastor of Bethel Church in Redding, California, along with my wife, Candace. I want to take just a moment and share a little bit about what God is doing today around the world, and even more specifically, what's happening in Redding with our church and our people and our community of believers. One thing we do know that the church is in the kingdom, but not all of the kingdom is in the church. And as we've been diving and driving down that road of thought, we begin to realize there's a lot more to the kingdom than we've ever realized. And as we begin to study, lean into what the Lord is saying, we understand that the way that our Father, the King, and the way His world works, our passion, and Jesus clearly communicated this in Scripture. I want the kingdom of heaven to come to earth. So in our journey for many years of going after this, one of the areas that's been really fun to see took place just a few years ago, actually. I was called to go to a luncheon at a country club, and they decided, hey, Eric, can you come in and just share what's going on with Bethel, et cetera, et cetera. And I had never spoken at this Rotary Club before, so it was 3 months down the schedule. So I showed up for this luncheon, and I shared for like 10 or 15 minutes just why we love our city. And I did talk about God just because I'm a pastor, and they knew that. But I just kept it pretty much to what's happening in the city, why we love it, why we do what we do, because we're really engaged in our city in a lot of different areas. And so at the very end of this, 10, 15 minutes of just giving them some updates, they wanted to do some Q&A. And so one guy rose his hand, and it wasn't a question, it was more of a statement. He said, my job, I'm responsible to keep track of all the startup businesses that happen in Redding. 84% of the startup businesses in the last 12 months are from people that go to your church, that go to Bethel. And I was so blown away by that, but I was really encouraged because we as a team have been exploring the idea, what is ministry? Like, what is it? Is it in a pulpit? Is it in a church context? Or is it bigger than that? And so as we've been exploring, we begin to realize that ministry, and this would be my definition, ministry is more about who you are than what you do. And once you find out who you are, then everything you do in life has the potential to be worship to the King, to be ministry to the King. But to hear statistically that our people are so in love with our city that instead of trying to get behind a pulpit, they're actually trying to help our city economically by starting up new businesses. There's a real spirit of entrepreneurship. So that's one of the expressions of this message of going after the kingdom. What does it look like in everyday life? What is it like in heaven? What is the peace in heaven? What are the ideas, the brilliance, the genius of God in heaven? And how can we see that not just imparted into us, but it's actualized in real life? So we're really encouraged by what's happening. And now we're 3 or 4 years down the road from that. And we are seeing the business sector of our city actually begin to prosper in new ways. Kingdom is more than just church. It's more than just what happened there. It actually is supposed to affect your city and your region, and to make it a safe city, economically prosperous city, low crime, low divorce rate, high education. It should be all about, and we do play an active role in that. So hopefully that's encouraging and helpful to you.